Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Miss Vonni and you are now tuned in to Miss Vonni TV. If you are new here, please subscribe. You will not be sorry. And if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. I'm glad to see you. So today I am going to be doing a talk through of how I achieved this hair color for this unit that I sell on my website. And it started off as a custom unit for a client, and I just thought that my audience would love this and love to see the process of how I did it, because this is a custom color, so you cannot go to the store and buy one particular color and get what I did. So that is the video for today, and I turned it into a wig. And so we're just going to jump right in to the video so I can tell you what I did. So starting now, I am using Blonder by Wella Cosmetics. So in this video we're going to be using all Wella products. I like Wella's color line. I think it's pretty cool. But if you have a color line that you like, then what I'm teaching you today may apply. So I went in with Blonder, and then I went with Color Touch Developer, and the developer was a level 13. So throughout this whole process, I only went as high 20 developer because I wanted to still keep the integrity of the hair, because we are going from like a 1B to a level 8, 9, and 10. So I wanted to keep the integrity of the hair, so I used the Color Touch developer, and it has 4% of peroxide, and it's a 13 volume developer. So I went in with that and the Blonder bleach. So that is what I'm doing as of right now to color the hair. And I did it single weft, but you could do it double, but I wanted to get all the hair saturated, and I didn't want those dark marks that you get from when it comes to bleaching your hair. And I went in with a pretty thick consistency, but I thinned it out as I used it because I didn't want to just have to keep using a lot of product, because still want to be cost effective here, and I still was able to get the same results that I was looking for. So that's what I'm doing for the process right now. I'm just adding that color in. I'm actually watching it as I go. I already filmed everything and edited it. Now I'm narrating it this way. So that's what I did, just flipped it over, and I really saturated my hair in that bleach because I needed that hair to be light. So for this process, I ended up doing it about twice in order to get the color that I was looking for with the hair. And also I used aluminum foil to trap that heat in, because we want it to get lifted, and adding the heat in to trap it helps it process and helps it get light. So I was really shocked. This was my first time using like a 13 developer, and I was actually really shocked about how light it got. But also remember that I did this twice. I bleached it twice to get a really light blonde, and further in this video you're going to see the light blonde that I bleached it to in order to achieve it. So right now what I'm doing is mixing together the bleach for the closure. And I use Olaplex. So I brought Olaplex, but I was forgetting to use it. But I'm like, I definitely need to use that, because I do not want to ruin the integrity of the hair. That is a big thing, because this unit was for a client, and I did not want to give them hair that was going to potentially dry out really fast or just break easily. Like, I still wanted to keep the hair healthy, because this is raw hair, and even though it is raw hair and it could take a bit of a beating, you don't want to intentionally pound on your hair just because you think it could take a punch, if you get what I mean. So I usually, when I'm bleaching closures, I start out with the ends, because I notice when I'm bleaching hair, the ends could sometimes still be a little dry. Quick process, a little darker, and the roots will be lighter. So I start off with the ends to kind of get that process speeded up, and then of course once I get done, then everything is the same color. So what I'm doing is I'm parting it and getting as close to the root as possible, and I'm going in small sections, and I'm really just piling on that bleach and that product, and I'm using the end of the brush to part it and get real close. Because if you see in the video what I'm doing, that's exactly what I'm doing. I am parting it, getting as close as possible to the root, but I'm not going directly on the root because I don't want to color the whole color like through and through. You know, we want some kind of to where it looks natural at the root. And this process is going to get it as close as possible to the root without coloring the root or bleaching the root. Now that that color is completed and it's bleached to where I want it to be, so I'm going in right now with my Wella Colston in the shade 8.0 and 838. So let's talk about this really quickly. So the 838, okay, so I'm going with 838. And I'm just squeezing it out and I'm going to measure it. So it is really important that you have a scale, a digital scale, a digital kitchen scale when you are coloring your hair. It's really important that you have a digital kitchen scale when you are coloring your hair, because that is going to help you get the most accurate amount of grams or ounces. I went according to grams because it's just simpler to me. And what you'll notice that I'm doing in this video is I'm actually calculating how much developer I need to do. So what I did was I did 1 to 2 or 2 to 1, so I like doubled it. So if I did 50 grams of color, I went in with 100 grams of developer. If I did yes, that's pretty much what I did. I did 2 to 2, well, 1 to 2, 2 to 1. Okay, so right now this is how the hair came out. This is after me bleaching it twice. And again, I'm starting off at the ends and then I'm working my way up. So what I decided to do was put the color wrapped inside aluminum foil inside of my my blow dryer bonnet, if you could say. I guess that's how you say it. But that's what I used to kind of you know, heat up the color process to get what my desired color, to help the color process. And I just put it on for about 20 minutes, and I put it on medium and high heat, and that's what I did. And I set my timer for about 30 minutes. And if you look at my clock, it was late and I was tired. Okay, so now that the 30 minutes is up, I am removing it from, I'm sorry about the lighting. I know the lighting is not that great, but I did not have my ring light with me at the time of this recording. But as you can see, it definitely turned. And at first, I'm not gonna lie, it scared me a little bit, but I didn't have the right lighting. So if you see, if you look, I'm just washing it, but also you can see the dimensions. So because I use such a low developer, when you use lower developers like that, it helps the hair process slow, and also gives it more depth and more dimension. Because when I achieved the color that I got, I did not I did not highlight it. I didn't do any of that. I just let it slow process with a lower developer, and that's what gave it the depth that you seen. So I was able to do 1.5 bundles with the amount of color that I had, but I ran out of color. So stay tuned, because later on in this video, I'm going to help you guys when you run out of color and the store is sold out, what you can do so you are not up the creek without a paddle. And I'm just washing the hair and rinsing it out. Okay, so now this is what I'm going to do. I'm showing you guys how I mix the colors, and this is a really important part. So I'm going to, let's discuss it, and let's get into, let's get talking depth of this subject. So the person I made the wig for wanted a sandy blonde color. So she wanted it to be ash brown, but also have those gold tones to it. And she just wanted it to be like multi-dimensional, extremely pretty. That's what my client wanted. So I had to formulate a color. So when it comes down to professional color, or you could probably apply this to store-bought color, I'm gonna talk about that as well. Okay, so what you have gold tones, pearl tones, and then you have ash. So those are the 3 tones I use, you could say, in order to achieve the color that I was looking for. So I'm going to insert the clip right here so that you can see the gold, pearl, and ash tones. So pearl is not something that's widely talked about when I look at over-the-counter hair color, such as like the hair color sold at like Sally's Beauties and regular hair supply stores. But yeah, so pearl is a really nice color, and pearl also helps combat any brassiness. So this is how you get a custom color. So you want to use the level. So you have levels. Here's a level chart, and you have levels 1 through 10. So those are like the standard color levels. So 1 being your darkest, 10 being your lightest. So what color we wanted to achieve was a level 8. So we wanted level 8 color as like the base color, and we on the level 10 highlights in the hair. So I'm gonna go over that. You're gonna see that further in the video of me doing mixing together the level 10. So I used the same color. So when it came down to this color company in particular, when you have 8 stands for pearl. When you have 3-8, that stands for gold pearl. So the color I chose was 838. So it was 8, level 8, and then the tones 38, which was gold pearl. So that was a mix of the gold and pearl tones. So when I was looking for my color, that's exactly what I was going for to help me achieve the same tone. Now I ran out of color, and what I had to do when I ran out of color was I went down a level. So I went to 738, and I went from 738 and I added a level 8. So what the 738 is going to do is going to give me those gold tones while also going up a little bit higher, not as much as the level 8, but the level 8 is going to bring it up. So I did equal parts of that color in order to achieve that. And then when I ran out of color, because the 838 and 738 was sold out because they just had a sale, so they did not have that much color, and I had to have this wig out by Monday so that my client could be make sure that she got it by Saturday, because that was her hair appointment. So what I ended up doing was the 838 was sold out, 738 was sold out. So what I did was I went even down a lower level, but I didn't have to use it, but this is something that I was considering, and if I had to. So I took a 638 and then a level, so I went in with a level 6 38 and I believe a level 10 38, or like 10, but it was 10. So what that was going to do was, because I was trying to make it a little darker, so what that was going to do was the level 6 was going to give me my golden tones and also bring it down just a notch, and then my 10 was going to, you know, keep it between that 7 and 8 mark that I was looking for. So you have level 6. So what I did was, to see about that was, I would go in with 2 parts of the level 10 and then 1 part of the level 6, and I was going to bring it down just a little notch, but it was going to also keep those tones that I was looking for. So that's the big thing. So regardless of where you go, make sure you keep those tones the same, because the level is going to stay the same, but those tones have to stay the same in order to stay consistent with what you're trying to do. So I did level 6 1 part, and then level 10 2 part, and that right there was going to give me the color. I did not use it because it was just a little too dark, but if I was going to add like low lights in there, it would have been perfect. But that's still a way that you can mix color. So even if I did just maybe 3 parts of the level 10 and then 1 part of the level 6, that was going to be really successful as well, because you just need to keep those tones the same. And in this company in particular, the tones was 38 for this color in particular, because that was gold pearl. So I stayed with gold pearl and ash pearl, but I always kept that pearl in there because that was going to give me that's the pearl meets in the middle of ash and gold. Because if you look at a pearl and how it looks, it has those warm colors to it, and it also has those cool tones to it, and it's just really pretty. And that's what I did to get the custom color. So keep that in mind. If you run out of color, look at the tones. So tones might be red gold, or your tones might be you want ash blonde, or red violet, or blue red, or so those are like pretty much the basics of it. Gold red, red gold, like stuff like that. And you want to keep it in there, and then you want to have the level with you. So let's talk about Wella over the counter. So now I'm going to show you how to do a custom color using Wella Color Charm, which is over the counter. So Wella Color Charm, and this is also the Wella Professionals, they have level 12, but the level 12 was like a, they call it special blonde, or they called it, but that's like if you want like really bright, almost white hair. So in the Wella Charm, you have the tones that they have. This is over the counter. You have neutral, ash, gold, warm, red. So those are just the basic tones for their color chart. So if we want to create, let's see, let's go to Pinterest. Let's pull up some hair. Alright, so I'm just going to pick this. So this hair color that I'm using, so in her roots, ooh, what happened to it? Okay, so she has like a natural ombre thing going. So in her roots, she has, looks like a level 6, 7. And so, and then towards the end, she has like a level 9, 10. So what we would do is, and then it also looks like she has more so of a gold tones in her hair. So what you would follow is you would go to Wella's color chart, and you will go to, so you have natural tones and gold tones. So this is going to like warm up the color look. We're not going to go through ash just yet. So she has natural and warm tones. So like I said, it looked like she had a level 7, 6, 7 in her root area, and then it ombre down. So for the root area, what you would look for is a level 7, and then if we're going to do neutral tones, so you would choose, you have medium, natural, warm, blonde. So that looks like a really nice color, and the base is a neutral brown. So that's going to more so have those brown hues to it, and it's going to look really nice. And then you have 7N, which is the base is neutral, so that's going to be like a regular level 7 that you could use. And then you could mix the level 7N, and if you wanted like more gold tone, so we're going to go over to the gold column. So you have 7CG, medium, platinum, gold, blonde. The base is ash gold. So then you have medium beige blonde, and the base is neutral gold. And then you have 7G, which is the base is just straight up gold. So what you could do is you would take for the roots. So you could take level 7, you could take color 7G, which is a sunlight blonde brown, and the base is gold. And then you will go in with 7NW. So that's going to create a really pretty custom color. You're going to have gold tones, you're going to have brown tones, it's going to be neutral, and that's how you could create a custom color, root color. So, or you could go in with the medium blonde and the base is neutral to really bring out those warm hues. So that's how you would choose for the root area for a warmer color. So now let's go up, and we're going to go for the ombre. So the ombre is more like a level 9, 10. So in the level 9, 10, you will follow those same steps, and you would take 9N, and you take the base is neutral, so very light blonde. And then you're going to go over to the golds, and you're going to go in with 9G. And so that's going to, and it's called soft pure gold. So that's how you're going to get the same consistency with the same tones, but you just created a natural ombre effect with color. So that's how you mix colors to create custom colors to get tones that otherwise you would not be able to get. And that's also if you run out of color. So let's say we was just doing a regular, you just wanted to choose one color. So they have 9NG, but 9NG is sold out. Or you already brought it and you ran out of color and you need to go back and 9NG is sold out. So what you would do is take that 9G, like I said, and then you will go back and you would mix the 9G with 9N. So that's going to give you that same tone you was looking for when you was looking for 9NG. So that's what you do if you run out of color. Because they have the mid-tones, which is the 9NG. But if you run out of that, your back is up against the wall. This is how you would, get from this is how you would get from out that corner. So that's what I would do for that color. And then if I wanted to be real fancy and add some more highlights in it, then I will go in with 12NG, and that's like really, really light blonde, and that's really pretty. Like, that'll be really pretty. So that's what you would do, and that's how you would pick custom colors. That's how the bases work, and that's how you would custom color your hair. So let's continue on with the video and what I was doing. I'm just testing out the colors, and I ran out. So what I did was I took miniature pieces and I cut them up, and I tested out the color that way. To test out the root color I wanted to use, just see what colors I wanted to use in general. So right now I'm testing out a root color, and for this root color At first I wasn't labeling them, but then I had to do, some of them times I had to do it over again to label it because I was getting mixed up. So you'll see me later it go in with the Sharpie and label it. Also, I apologize about the lighting. You see I had that little ring light with me. And so this is where I start to label it. When you're doing a project like this, you want to make sure that you're testing out with your combinations, and that's why you need a digital scale, because with the digital scale you can make sure you are efficiently doing equal parts. Make sure your parts are right that you need. So I'm just testing out the Special Blonde, which is the level 12, to see how I like it. And I'm going in with a 1.9. Well, I decided to go with the 4%. I'm separating my hair, and I'm separating the what's going to be the highlights, what's going to be the lowlights, and what's going to be the base color. So I ended up, you're going to see in the clip, so I ended up doing the level 10, the level 10 along with the level 7 and level 8. So I use a mixture of those. So I combined level, you're going to see it, level 7.738 with a level 8 to get my root color. And this color job was actually very expensive. I spent like $200 on color. So, but it was trial and error, so next time I would not have to spend that much money. But this is not, in the salons, this would be like a $600 color job. And that's probably me being generous, because this was not, it's not easy work. This was like a 3-4 day process, and it was a lot. So right now I'm just separating it with aluminum foil, what's going to be the highlights. Alright, so right now what I'm doing is mixing my color. So what I decided to do when I want to get all the color is I cut the bottom open, and then I go on the side, cut it, and then tear it open, and that's how I get all the color out of the color tube. Make sure I get every single thing. And that's 57 grams of color each time. So I'm going in with a 20% volume, 20 volume developer. Hopefully my fan is not too loud, y'all. It is hot. And this is like a fan that acts as a AC. Can you see the smoke? But yeah, it's like a cooling AC. It's perfect. So I'm just going to mix all those colors together that I choose, and then I'm going to label what it is I use so I won't get mixed up. So what I decided to do was work with my closure first to make sure that because the closure is the most important thing, because it's right at the top. So wanted to work on my closure first and section it off, and so I'm going in like a weaving method to apply the color. So I have 3 different colors to make up so you get what I'm looking for. And I'm weaving, I'm going in with foil. So what I do is I apply the color on the foil first, like on the bottom, the area that I need, and then I go on top, so that helps with saturation. And I'm just moving it on in, and you see that color is like really yellow. So in the next clip you're going to see a surprise. So I did all of that color. I even set it on the dryer for heat processing, and it didn't take. Like, I don't know what happened, I don't know what went wrong, but I used the same colors the next day and the stuff did not take. I had to go to the store again to buy more colors, and at that point when it didn't take, I just decided to go to bed, because I'm like, if I stay up and I try to brainstorm and figure it out, I am going to mess up. So right now, I'm testing out the colors because I had to improvise. I had to go back to the store like I talked about earlier in this video, and I had to change up what I did because it just wasn't available, the colors. So I had to, you know, go back to the drawing board and figure it out, and figure how can I still achieve what I'm looking for without having those actual colors. So this is a technique that I like to use. So I like to go in with a spoolie, and I buy like a pack of spoolies. I keep like disposable makeup tools near me at all times, and I like to go in with a spoolie, and that's how I'm doing the root. So the spoolie helps get as close as possible without coloring the lace. So I'm going in with my root color. And you guys, take your time. Like this process was really long and it was challenging, but the end result was absolutely worth it. It was fabulous. And yeah, so that's what I do. I went through the roots first. And I'm going to apply the roots first on every single layer, and then I'm going to drag it down to create a balayage effect. And some of them I'm going to take it all the way down. And again, I'm getting as close as possible to the root without actually touching the root. I think coloring the closure was one of the most funnest parts, but also the most nerve-wracking, because I just colored the hair previously the day before and it did not take it all. So I was extremely nervous because I'm like, it's Sunday, I need to finish this wig today. I don't know what I'm going to do if this don't take. And so it was just nerve-wracking. I don't know what happened. I could not tell you what the difference was, because I even used a higher... no, I used like, I think the 1.9% developer to achieve it. This is a level 6. Just making sure I get the root. And coloring the closure is going to be as close as staying to coloring someone's head. But coloring someone's head is probably much easier because you're not really, if you get it on the scalp, it's not like as, well, it can be damaging depending on the person. I'm not going to say that. That'll be misinformation. But, yeah, so I just weaved it in. I made sure to do the roots, and some part I just focused on highlights, and I just wanted it to be multi-dimensional, so I used 3 different colors to achieve what I was looking for. Alright, so the closure was done coloring, but now I'm just doubling the tracks to sew my wig, and the hard part is over, which is the color. Whew, the color was very difficult. And I even had to test out some of that hair on the closure, because just to make sure that it was gonna, you know, color or dye. So yeah, I'm just making the wig, and I use the dome cap. I can make a more in-depth video on how I make a wig. I'm still figuring out the best angles when it comes out to me making wigs, so I make them on a sewing machine. That air helps so much because I be hot. Alright, so right now we're just styling, and I'm going in quickly with these. This is how you create those body wave curls. And you see how the hair came out. So it's exactly, she loved it. You can see it has the highlights, it has the lowlights, and it's multi-dimensional. Like, look at those tones. Look how well it pieced together. Like, I'm really proud, and I worked hard. Like, I worked really hard to achieve this color. So you got the light blondes in there, and it's just as warm, it's cool. It's exactly what my client had wanted. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you learned something. I hope I encourage you to try something new to make your product and make your hair, and whatever you do and whatever you do with this information, I hope it helps you stand out and be different. if you like this video, subscribe. I'll have more things coming like this. If you have any feedback of what you think I could have did better, or you know what I did great, let me know. I'm always interested in, you know, hearing your opinion. And that is all for this video. And if you want this wig, you can purchase it at www.brulairtresses.com. I'm gonna put that on the screen right here. Yeah, like right here, because I'm really close up. Okay, but that's pretty much it for this video. Follow me on Instagram at Miss Vonni, and follow my hair page at Brulair Tresses. And once again, thank you for watching this video, and you have an amazing day. Bye.